We Speak Student!
To Kill a Mockingbird, the contemporary world a la Shmoop.
There's so many things historically going on at this time. The Great Depression, Jim Crow laws, we're post-war and pre-war, we're decades before the Civil Rights Movement. It's very hard for us as 21st century readers to read To Kill a Mockingbird because we just don't get it. We say, but wait, that's why people were standing up and change. And we know this was 20 years before anyone really did anything big to change things. The cool thing about To Kill a Mockingbird is that it doesn't open with Scout saying, it was 1933 and I was in the middle of the Great Depression. That's not what she says. She just kind of gives us little clues. She kind of half quotes FDR's inaugural address. She says, Maycomb had been told that there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And, if you haven't read that speech, you have no idea what's going on. The subtlety in those descriptions and she says things like, well, we didn't really have a lot of money and we didn't have anything to spend it on anyway, okay, so we're in the Great Depression. But again, the fact that it's subtle, she doesn't know why they don't have money. She doesn't know why they're not supposed to fear anything but fear. She just has heard this and has been fed it, and that's just the world she lives in. And so we really get this kind of crystal clear vision of what was going on versus, filtered through a lot of knowledge about what was happening in Europe and, what was going on here and how different people were reacting to it.
Why does Atticus primarily focus on his family instead of the rest of the world?
There's so many reasons for that. One is that this is a story about a family. This is a story about a 6-year-old girl, and having it kind of be contained into the life of Atticus, Jem, and Scout makes us remember that this is a coming-of-age story as much as it is a story about the coming-of-age of America. It's the coming-of-age of this young girl. Atticus also just cares so much about his family that as much as he wants to put the greater good ahead of them, it always does come back to teaching Jem and Scout to do the right thing. That's one of the main questions people will ask about To Kill a Mockingbird. Is it about doing well for the community or about doing what's right for yourself? And Atticus kind of toes the line a little bit because he's doing what's right for the community. He's standing up for the rights of all humans and he's defending this guy, et cetera, et cetera. But he also, he wants to protect his kids. When you're a parent, that is a fine line because you want what's best for your kids, but you don't want to have to sacrifice your moral standing in order to do that.
During which time period does the story take place? Does Atticus care more about his family or the greater good?